Evening all, or good morning when this episode comes out for another episode of View from the Pen. I've got Frank with me hosting as normal. Frank, how you doing?
Not bad, you.
Yeah, all good, thanks. And we've got hot off the press new club captain Harry Prince on. How you doing, H?
Yeah, very good, boys. Good to be back on. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's the third time
Good
now,
to
isn't it?
see you, mate.
I have to get you a little hat trick ball.
Yeah, like soccer AM days.
Yeah. Jono keeps going on about that, so I'll have to. I'll get some made up.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Right, so straight into last weekend's action. Obviously, we're still unbeaten. We had not an easy game away at Springfield. Obviously, they're a new team into the league, um, but as we'll get into more in a minute, we got a point out of it. I think if you'd have said that on the way there, would have taken it. Although once playing the game, you're always going to be a bit disappointed when you play like we did, which wasn't 100% best, which I think everyone would agree, and you're still getting a draw out of it. Much different from that, H.
No, yeah, I think going into the game with the results and kind of the momentum that we had, we knew that what we've worked on massively is obviously not leaking goals. So we knew that Springfield were going to be strong. They're also on a good run as well. And yeah, I mean the conditions weren't the best. The pitch, the grass was very long.
Mhm.
And to be totally honest, I think we didn't have the best performance. We was also missing a few boys that are key in terms of the 16 and the 11. Um, but yeah, I would have took a point going into that game. Tough opposition to start again the campaign. I think we've took 7 points from the three teams below us, so happy with that. And yeah, it just
Yeah,
obviously it isn't the buzz of 3 points, but we go into now Hatfield still unbeaten and still only conceding a few amount of goals compared to the start of last season. So
Definitely. Yeah, you was watching on the video. Frank, any further thoughts on that?
no, I completely agree. Completely agree with Princey, really. I mean, the pitch from the VO started to really tell that it did look a little bit long. But I would have taken it going in. I would have taken a point. They're new to the league. No one really knew what they were going to bring.
mm,
They've had a really good start. So I was a bit nervous, if I'm honest, seeing like was missing a few as well. The back line has got a little bit mixed up. Obviously, pairs playing a little bit out of position and that. And I thought, this might be a bit of a tough one. So I was over the moon, boys dug in and managed to get a point out of that. And it was good to see Ross getting a goal because now we're really spreading the goals about. I think that's 7 different goal scorers now in our first 5 games. So I think that's a big difference from last season. It's not all on your shoulders, Princey. There's people starting to chip in, and it's good to see the goals getting shared around them.
yeah, it makes a big difference. I think there was a stat that someone chucked out last week. I think it was KPR who won the league last year. I think they scored around 80 goals. So to be able to potentially have three or four players that are going to give you 15, 20 goals, it puts us
Definitely.
right up in a position where potentially we should.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it just goes to show how strong the squad is, really, that we were able to lose a couple of players and still put in a really strong performance because obviously one of the best performances in the world, but away from home against the team that's around us, you're going to take a point, and we were always going to back ourselves to beat them at home. So, yeah, anything you can get away from home, away.
Yeah, so obviously good result for us on Saturday on a whole. And yeah, as we said previously, we'll take that definitely going into the game before. And it's good to feel disappointed, I think, but going from that and going, oh, we only got a point. So yeah, no, it's all positives, definitely. The ladies played on Sunday, and it was the last preseason friendly, but it's also a team that was in their league or going to be in their league this year, and they won 5-1. So it's a great result for them. They bossed it really. They went, I think that were 1-0 down, but after that they completely dominated the game. And yeah, no, it's looking good. I spoke to Irv just before the game, and he was still missing a couple of key players. So the fact that they've won 5-1 against a team in their league and still missing a couple of players, it's looking good. They've got their first game in a couple of weeks away to Clacton, so it's not right round the corner, but we've had a couple of long away ones like that. But no, it's looking promising, definitely. The reserves didn't have a game.
That's good.
So it's looking good on the front overall. So kids are starting up soon. The reserves got another game this week. So yeah, the club is the 800% teams that we had on last year with the 1 to 8. It seems to be going smooth so far. Everyone's got their kits, and I think everyone's raring to go and trying to get the season underway.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, no, it's all progression in it. We've just got to get loads more owners now. We're near the 300 mark. I think we're 292, something like that. So break that 300, and that'll be a real statement. But it's all moving in the right direction. On to this week. So the first team we're playing at home, 3:00, and we have got Hatfield. So we played against them last year, but they seem to be a very, very different team last year, or at least they're getting very, very different results. So it'll be another tough one. Again, they're high up there. We seem to be playing everyone around us at the moment, don't we? But it's confidence high as always, Princey, I'm sure.
Yeah. Again, it'll be another tough test. They're obviously a good outfit. They've got a good setup over there.
Yeah.
I wasn't involved in the game at home last season, but I think they turned us over. We was on a bad spell. But touching upon the game at their place, it was probably one of the best performances of the season. I think we beat them 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
I know I got a goal. We also missed a penalty that day. But overall, yeah, I think the performance on that day, if we can reflect anything like that, especially at home with the squad we've got now, I have no worries of anyone coming to our ground. So it will be a tough test, like any other team in this league. You just don't know who's going to turn up on the day. But yeah, looking forward to it. Again, we're unbeaten, so we shouldn't be sitting here worrying of someone coming to our place when we're on a good run. We're sitting top of the table. And yeah, the boys are in good spirits. Training was good last night. So yeah, we're ready to go.
Yeah, good stuff. And played against them last time. I think you scored but didn't think it was going to be allowed, wasn't it, H? And then you realised afterwards it's a bit of a delayed celebration.
Yeah, it was, mate. It was, and I was absolutely blowing because I busted a gut to make the box. But no, yeah, like I said, the overall performance on that day was excellent from everyone. And they've got a good setup over there, nice pitch. So we really did play good football. And that's what we're looking to do this year. We just continue to play, because we're not a long ball team. We like to get the ball down and play, and we've worked on so many different kind of ideas and patterns in training and keep ball to kind of bring that in. And obviously we've got players like Milesy and Bobby who are really comfortable on the ball, want to play. And obviously we've got Tomo in goal, who's confident with his feet, who can also play outfield. I think he plays outfield on a Sunday. So there's a lot of trust there in terms of people actually playing and taking control of the ball. So we'll look to do that Saturday, and I'm sure we'll be rocking all over the world come 5:00, hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, and that's getting into a bit of a theme now, but the more we hear it, obviously the better it is. So yeah, it's fingers crossed we hear it again Saturday, as you say.
Yeah.
We've then got the reserves are playing at home as well on Saturday. So that's a 12:00 kickoff. They've got Benfleet reserves. So obviously if people want to come down, watch the earlier game and the first team on straight afterwards, I reckon a few of the first team will be down at some point earlier to watch that. I think that's happened the last couple of times, so that'll be good. If you want to have a quick chat with them before we play against Hatfield. Obviously, if you don't know already, all the boys are more than friendly. There's no snobbiness at all, and you can have a nice chat watching the reserves, and hopefully get 3 points while talking to Princey or another one that's going to bang in a goal later on. That's the plan anyway. So yeah, the reserves, fingers crossed, get a nice result or just settle in more to the league. Obviously, it's only their second game on Saturday, so that should be good to see. I haven't actually managed to watch them yet because I've been playing cricket. So yeah, no, it should be good.
Yeah,
The ladies' game, they haven't got a ladies' game this week. As I say, their league starts next Sunday. So they haven't got a game this week, but so everyone's got a Sunday off if they want it. I'm sure there's plenty of other football to watch, but yeah, no game to report on this week. But we've got 2 out of 3 still, so I wouldn't snob at 6 points. That'd be nice if we could.
Yeah, well, I've watched the reserves a couple of times now. And like I say, Jim's trying his best with them. Obviously, there's a lot of players in that, and they're trying to narrow it down. So yeah, they're a work in progress, but they get better. I know they were missing a few last weekend, and I think they'll have a few back. And I think, like I say, with the first team watching them and that, there's a bit more pressure on them when they're being watched, by the players that are above them. I think it's great that you all go down there and watch them and give them a bit of encouragement. I think Cobbo's down there watching them and that. So yeah, there's a lot of pressure on them. They're very young. I think they're at the same position that maybe our first team was. Not so much you,
yeah,
Princey, because you're more experienced, but obviously we've got some of the younger players in the first team and they've progressed, and you've seen the progression in the year. And I think the reserve team will follow that. They're just obviously it's a bit of a baptism of fire for them straight away to be in
yeah,
quite a decent league for the level they've played at so far.
yeah. No, I agree. That the Olympian League is a tough league. Um, even if they are in 3 or 4. And yeah, I see a bit of kind of ourselves in them
Mm,
in terms of they're a new team, they're a new group, um, and they're obviously trying to build something like we did. Um,
mm,
the good thing is obviously we've had a few sessions with them, so they understand the level.
mm,
But it'll just be a matter of time. I mean, the results don't always go your way, but if the idea and the kind of input is in the right direction, then who's to say that they won't climb the league and also progress players into the first team or grow as a reserve team. So I've got no worries on that front. And also we use it as a platform in pre-season to get players minutes. So they
yeah,
also get exposure to some of the first team players coming in. And yeah, it's still really early stages for the club in terms of growth, whether that be the women, the reserves. Um, so yeah, it's like I said, if the direction is correct, then in a few years we'll be looking back, going like how much they've advanced, kind of thing. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely, and yeah, it's almost like we're singing off the same hymn sheet, Princey. I said exactly the same thing at the owners' meeting on Monday. It's like the results at this point. Obviously, people want to win still, but the aim
mm,
for the reserves is to support the first team and to get those boys ready for higher league football if they're good enough for that. Obviously, time will tell, but yeah, it's all about progression, and the fact we've even got a reserves team in the second year speaks volumes. And yeah,
yeah,
it's a very good outlook. As we've said many a times before, it's very easy to forget how far we've come already. Yeah,
Yeah,
last year, as you
definitely.
mentioned, Princey, we conceded ridiculous amount of goals last year already at this point, and we haven't lost a game yet out of 5, which is nuts in my head. But yeah,
mm.
we're on cloud 9 at the minute, and hopefully we
Yeah,
don't
this.
fall back down to earth too quickly.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Yeah,
it's still really early stages
yeah,
of the seasons across the board, whether that's the reserves or the first. So, main thing is just to stay on top of what we're doing. Don't get carried away because there's some good teams in our league, and
yeah.
on anyone's day they can turn over anyone.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, we keep doing what we're doing. We'll be well up there end of the season. So
Yeah, no, it's all happy days. And then yeah, so we've got next event ish type thing. We've got the karaoke night, so get everyone. We've got to sell that out. That'll be good with our one of our main sponsors, Monty's. They've now got the new first team shirt up. in the restaurant. So if you book onto that curry night, you can come down and have a look at the shirt. Also have a good night, and yeah, obviously it's all supporting the club. So it'll all help. But just going back to the team, Harry. Obviously, we mentioned that you've now taken over the club captaincy. Obviously, you've always been that leader type role because of your experience. Not saying you're old, but compared to some of the boys there, you're
I am
old.
old. Yeah.
But has it changed anything really for you?
Um, Mentally, no. Look, I knew I was one of the more experienced players in the group. Look, let's not forget what Ray done last year. Obviously, done a fantastic job to guide not just the team through the bad spells at the start, but obviously we went on an unbelievable run towards the end. So, um, the only thing that's changed on his side is obviously the commitment side.
Yeah. Well,
1 second, guys. Just got to jump for 1 sec.
Come on.
yeah. So just touching on that with Ray, obviously I don't know if people know that are watching, but he's got commitments with work, so he's taken up the physio route, which he spoke to a couple of us about at the end of season party, which is great for him, and it limits him to the amount of Saturdays that he can play, and obviously what Princey was saying, that there's no bad word at all to say about Ray, and obviously he's still playing when he can. But I think he realised, and obviously other people would realise at the club as well, it just makes a lot more sense with the captaincy type role. It's a bit different if you're just a squad member, but it's hard to stay in as captain if you can only be there one or two every 3 or 4 weeks, if that makes sense. But yeah, I was just saying, just praising him on last year, and obviously still a squad member and things like that, Princey.
Yeah.
But it's I think he kind of knew himself that it's only fair, and he still obviously still wants to be around the group.
Yeah. Sorry, I just had to jump for a sec. Yeah, exactly that. His commitment on his side is still to the club. It's just his circumstances have changed, obviously, with his job, with his career and stuff. That's something that you have to look out for. And obviously, we're at a level where you need to make a decision
Of course, yeah.
On priorities and obviously, yeah, that's gonna do him a massive favor in the long term. But yeah, in terms of my role, nothing's really changed. I'm always still the ones chatting to the boys, talking to Kovo and Kev and stuff about different ideas, performances. Obviously, previous games that are coming up. So nothing's really changed. But yeah, I'm glad because it's also given Miles an opportunity to step in as well as vice captain. So I think he's chuffed with that. And for some reason, every time I give him the armband, we go and nick a goal and win. So he's over the moon. But yeah, I mean, nothing changes for me. Look, I've been here from the start, so I can see where the club wants to go. And obviously, yes, it's good to be a part of it and to lead it now. So
Definitely. No, and not that Ray wasn't at all, but even just some of your mannerisms, H, are most like most of the other boys. Real credit to the club, and obviously you're saying there you understand the way we want to go forward, and I think nearly everyone in the group gets that, and that's why we had so many
yeah,
people play, and obviously we've got more people that are joining, and yeah, everyone's believed in the vision, and it's lovely to see, especially being on the committee side. Obviously, Frank, I know you're there a lot as well. It's good to see people are buying in, definitely on the playing side. Not that people weren't anyway already, but you can see progression once people stay, as I say, and new people want to join. You really do realise the commitment, not see it. You realise it definitely.
Yeah, I think we've been blessed with the players that we've had pretty much from the beginning. I don't think there's not one I can really point to. I mean, you know better than me, Princey, or in the dressing room with them, but there's not one that I can point to that said, "Oh, it didn't really fit in with the group" or anything like that.
mm.
They've all been good lads. We've been really fortunate haven't we, with the boys that we've had. So hopefully that continues going forward.
Yeah, and I mean to touch upon that, the squad hasn't changed massively
No.
to what we had at the start of last season. I think we was carrying a few boys at the start of last season because of numbers. It was obviously a new team, so you don't really carry that attraction value of non-league. But now, yeah, going into second year, seeing what the club's doing, we've brought in a few new boys. Marcus at the back's done really well. Tom been unbelievable, just fearless.
Yeah,
Um, he's only 17, 18, I think, and I know there's a couple of clubs that was already sniffing around asking about him. So, I mean, if we can keep hold of him, which will be a
Yeah.
task, um, I think it'll be massive for us because he's really enjoying his football, and obviously that shows with his performances, with his goals. And yeah, it's good that the squad's really gelling with the new boys as well. So I know a lot of them are mates outside of football, so that obviously helps. And um, yeah, we're in a much better position than we was this time last year.
definitely.
Definitely.
And I think obviously we'll get your perspective on it, H, from a player. But I think for me, the way we finished last year, it's almost like we've just carried that straight on from the start of this year. Obviously, adding, as you say, a couple of new boys in that are strengthening the squad. It just we've gone from the 8 out of 10 that we was to then push to 9, and obviously if we play well, I'd back us to beat anyone in this league the way we're playing at the minute. But I do feel like we really have taken last year and just gone bang, we're there already. Let's take it to here. It just feels
Yeah,
like we're that straight on.
yeah, definitely, and it also helps knowing obviously what we're going into. We
Mm,
didn't we didn't know anything about this league. We didn't know anything about the teams. Um, we obviously opted to go into this league rather than Olympian. No one had played at this level or again in this league. So yeah, going into it, I think we're a lot less fearful of teams. We obviously use home advantage in our favour, and yeah, the squad's gelled massively. Everyone understands their role. Everyone's on board with what both Covos and Kev are trying to put in plan. And yeah, we finished on a high last season, and we've started on a high. So it's hopefully we can continue it.
Yeah.
definitely. No, 100%. And anything else to add, Frank, from the watching side?
I'm just over the moon. Like I say, I think the boys are giving themselves a bit of breathing room. We've got some tough games coming up, obviously, but I think we've got points probably where we didn't expect to. So,
Yeah.
you know, of course, we don't, we don't go, well, we can afford to lose here, or we can afford to draw there. Obviously, you want to win every game,
Mm,
and you can tell that. But I think you can tell when you boys are going on the pitch now. Not so much, again, not so much you can see because you played at the level, but some of the young lads now, I think they've got a bit of a swagger about them now. They've got a bit of
mm,
a swagger where they think, yeah, they fancy it, every single
mm.
game. Fault. I think we would have folded against Fault last year in that game, and I think we would
Yeah.
have done the same against Sudbury. But we're not doing
Mm,
that now. We've got this superiority in our minds, not in an
mm.
arrogant way, but in a no, we belong here sort of way. And that
Yeah.
comes from the experience of last year. So, now from me, just keep it up, Wes. That's it. Keep it up.
Yeah, and we like the difference this I think we can see is obviously we can compete with the likes of Fulp who are very physical.
Mm.
But then on the other hand, we can also compete with the likes of Sudbury who are more technical and want to play. So
Mm.
we've kind of got that mixture and we can adapt when needed. But yeah, last season would have been a different game against Fulp. I mean, we would have lost
Yeah.
that going 2-1 down.
Hmm.
That would have been a tough game for us.
Definitely.
No, definitely. And as I keep saying, I feel like if I had a pound every time I said this, I'd be rich. But it is going in the right direction. That's all
Mm,
we can do is
Hmm.
keep going towards where we want to go and see where it takes us. And at the moment, I don't think anyone can complain about where we are, where we've come, where we're going. Hopefully, but no, it's nice. It's refreshing to see. And yeah, I just want to carry on, see us going up, and hopefully stay at the top. You never know.
That's
I
definitely,
said it last
definitely.
week. Hopefully, stay unbeaten. So Saturday again, it wouldn't hurt.
yeah,
And if we lose the game,
it's
I'll
a
keep
long
saying it.
run.
Yeah,
It's a long run at the top.
yeah,
But
no,
no,
It definitely is.
anything's possible. So we
yeah,
just got to keep on top of everything and keep playing with confidence like we have. So we'll be fine.
Definitely. Anything else to add, boys?
Good, mate.
No,
Nothing
great.
from me. Yeah, looking forward to leading the team for the rest of the season. It's going to be exciting.
Great stuff, definitely. And get yourself to as many games as you can. Obviously, we're at home again Saturday, as I mentioned, and so are the reserves. We've got our first cup game. We'll get onto that more next week of the season against Thorpe again. So we know the previous result. That'll be a great game. But yeah, get yourselves down as much as you can, and come along the journey. We'll hopefully keep unbeaten, but we don't want to be too confident. You never know.
Exactly, mate.
We're all here for the ride.
Yeah,
Definitely. Great stuff. Thank you very much, boys. That's another episode done.
Yeah.
And up the rocks. Fingers crossed
yeah.
for
Take care.
Cheers.
See you
Cheers,
Saturday.